So of course, that's not the only thing the Nets have going on. So apparently, all the big news was that after Steve Nash was fired, uh, Ime Udoka was set to be the Nets coach within the next 24 to 48 hours. Those hours passed, and we still didn't hear a word about Ime Udoka being the coach.
Excuse me. Okay.
So
Mm.
it actually turns out that now Vaughn, who was the interim coach, is now the head coach.
Yeah, that happened.
That actually happened.
Man,
He's now the permanent head coach.
for this season, at least.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, well, it comes with the deal through the 23-24 season. So 2 years.
Well, yeah.
2 years. It comes with the promotion.
I hear you.
It's like you're back. I mean, of course, anything can happen. But
Yeah.
why did the Nets back off on their plan? One, that has so much backlash going on once that news was released from Woj and Shams. And it turns out lots of voices apparently were urging Joe Tsai to not hire Udoka.
Yeah.
All that was going on. And apparently it worked. However, some do believe, Woj certainly does, he thinks that the Kyrie situation kind of helped stagger the process with Udoka becoming the head coach. It's just the timing of the matter, basically. Because you have this going on, and then this. So, in other circumstances, if Kyrie wasn't having these issues, is it plausible that it could have actually gone through? Probably so. I think I believe that. I would like to believe that. So, yeah, and it seems like other teams are still inquiring about Ime Udoka. They're looking into what actually is going on. So, I think the report is like there's like at least still 1 or 2 teams still looking to Udoka. We don't know exactly what those teams are, but those are all the reports. And I like Woj. And Woj, I like Shams. If they said it, that means it was about to be done. So, yeah. But the players are in support of Vaughn. You gotta have some sort of stability, man. You gotta have some sort of stability in your franchise. It's gonna be hard to do your job if you're thinking, how long am I gonna keep the job? So, yeah, they rave about his basketball acumen. They rave about like just everything. Like Joe Harris said that JV is a great coach. He's haven't played in the NBA for a while, been a coach in the league for a while, having experience as a head coach, having a lot of experience now as an assistant. He's seen a lot, had a lot of different experiences. He's kind of fine-tuned to what his approach is. He really simplifies the game. A lot of high marks for Vaughn. So, shout out to Vaughn. Got the job. Happy for you. But yeah, man. What do you think about this, man? Does this mean Ime Udoka is not going to get a job? Like, what do you think? What do you think about Vaughn as a coach, too? Like, what does all this mean?
I find it very just comedic, honestly, that in the, within 12 to 24 hours of announcing Steve Nash and the Nets agreed to part ways, to the announcement that Ime Udoka will be the next head coach in the next 2 days. And then the 2 days go by, and you're like, oh, you know what? We're not going to look outside. We have our interim head coach who's going to be the head coach. It's so funny, honestly, that happened that way. But I think that they did do the right thing in this case because they just have a lot going on. They have a lot of heat around this team with Kyrie. Like the last time we were on for the podcast, we played the video with the list of events that the Nets have had in like 6 months, and it's like longer. It's more stuff on that list than the amount of games that they've played this season. So to bring in Ime Udoka, who is currently serving his suspension with the Boston Celtics, would not be a negative light, but wouldn't be the best look for that organization. And I think it's good that that the players are supporting Jacqueline, and in his short time, he's done pretty well as a head coach. They had a 4-game winning streak until they recently lost to, guess who? The Los Angeles Lakers, which is also comedic. But I'm happy that KD, why can't I think of this guy's name? Joe Harris, all of these players have spoke highly of him, and he seems to be understanding his team so far, and I hope he does have a fair shot. I think that's all he deserves is the fair shot, since you kind of looked over him and then you were like, oh, we're gonna get a team because we couldn't really find or get the person that we wanted because of all the stuff we have going on. With that said, I just think that it's kind of like, if I was Jacques Vaughn, I would look at the situation like, oh, so y'all didn't believe in us like DJ Khaled, but God did, type thing. Like, I would take this opportunity and run with it. Like, coach the heck out of this team, exceed all expectations, make the playoffs, make a run, just elevate these guys to be better than what we actually expect this team to be at full strength once they get everyone, with Ben Simmons out, Kyrie out, Joe Harris just coming back. Once they get to being their full team, I hope he just runs with it and shows them like, yeah, I can do this at a high level. So yeah, I think it's good, and I think they made a smart move. To answer your question about Ime Udoka, do I see him getting a job outside of what he's doing right now? I don't see it anytime soon, to be honest. And I saw a video today with John Sally, former player. He made a good point about how the Celtics and Ime Udoka, the suspension, even though he's not fired, thing is, playing out. And his analogy was that they're basically letting him die slowly. He's, they have the knife in him just enough to watch him die slowly. You haven't fired him, but you've basically put out this report and made him. You're basically getting payback for what he did, and now it's going to be hard for him to go anywhere else. Regardless, if it was Brooklyn, was especially going to be difficult, but now he's going to be looking like, all right, he's got this baggage with him that he's going to have to carry, and there are full details of the report of what actually happened and everything. We only know, what we found out this past summer when everything was released. Well, not everything, but what was reported. And, I don't know if he's going to get a job anytime soon. And after his year of suspension, I don't know what happens to him. Like, I think he doesn't get a job this year simply because I think it'll be extremely difficult or very unlikely that we see him hired on as the next head coach of any other team. So that's my thoughts.
A lot of this just goes really, really bad on Sean Marks, man. A lot of this is on him. The move to fire Nash is like it's basically his job. The move to hire is his job. The player personnel, all that is on him. I believe his seat is just as warm. He's just trying to do what he can to like cool it off a little bit, basically. But his job is not safe in my opinion. All this falls under him. It really does.
Oh yeah. I I don't know how many times I've said it, but this organization just is not it. They have not figured out how to operate.
Thing is, they
Tsai,
were doing great before the acquisition of Kyrie Irving.
they were building. Yeah,
They were looking good.
really building and had a shot at, oh, let's go get Kyrie. Oh, KD was leaving Golden State. Let's go get him. Oh, they want James Harden. They want Steve Nash.
Yeah.
And they went and they were climbing. Like it was, even though it's not like, all right, obviously you get the chance to get KD, James Harden, Kyrie, you're thinking, oh, I'm gonna skyrocket, whatever. So they had a little quick rise, but the fall off is just, it's like last season KD was back fully healthy, Kyrie was out. The toe away from a game it's just a lot, bro. So yeah, Sean Marks is definitely under review. And I don't think he's gonna have I don't think he's gonna get fired anytime or anything like that, but it's gonna be,
Man, if they do that, it's over.
Yeah. It's a lot, bro. It's a lot. Oh man.
And because